What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new rebuild series in Football Manager 2022. You will see we have loaded it up with Arsenal. Leave a big like on the video if you're excited for this one. Arsenal is just, they're such in a limbo as what have always been seen as a top four club. They've struggled to compete if we just take a look at their league history as well. Their last really impressive season, and not just impressive season, the last top four finish, 2015-16 season. So it's been a bit of a break. It's like, pushing on 20 years since the last league title. So for, a team that has a really big fan base and high expectations, they're dropping backwards, as you can see with recent finishes and, similar this season as well. So here to, build on what is currently their team. Like, it doesn't need a complete wipeout of the club. What we're going to do in this first episode here anyway, we're going to give a review. We'll take a look at some of the players. I'm not going to go analyze every single player, but just take a look where the squad is, what the money situation is, and give you a rundown how we do the rebuilds. The first episode of the season will not be like this one, but the following seasons we will, give you the transfer updates, and then we do our second episode in January. So we give a roundup at the kind of midway in the season, and then we'll give generally an update when the youth intake is around, and hopefully get some talents through there. Even though that you don't want to rely on maybe some 15, 16-year-olds, and we don't want to be relying to wait to them to get to their best like 6 years in the future to rebuild. But it's always nice. We always love youth intakes, and then an episode at the end of the season. So we play through the season fairly and relatively quickly. But what we wanted to touch on here, if we sort by the age, we're getting right into analyzing the squad right now and how we'll manage. Like, there's Lacazette, you can sort by with the ability. It's a mix of the ages and abilities. There's so many players average here that I don't think would be part of the next league title win, the next Champions League. We haven't even gone through that. We just went through the Premier League history, even further off winning Champions League, I would say. So there's just a lot of these guys in the late 20s as well. Leno, who's not a bad goalkeeper, we'll just take a look how he's rated, but he's probably not the one you're thinking to ship out instantly, but then you're thinking about moves. And then the goalkeepers, the goalkeeper situation comes up. You got Xhaka, Thomas Partey, who I don't actually mind. I think he could be good as the DM. Definitely first season, and once more, it's seeing how the team progresses. And then you got Cedric, Al Neni. There is a lot of these guys, and if we go maybe this way, Rekic is still very young at 19. Eddie. Fans, have some hopes on him. Eddie Nketiah. Quite a few players out on loan that we won't need to worry about in the first season. But I feel Arsenal's team has been this way for this time they've struggled. They don't have enough stars in the team. They might have a couple leaders, and it's always been a team I like to rebuild because first season you don't have a lot to work with. We don't generally make too many signings anyway. Because we like to get into the season with this team as it is, but there may be moves. Because I like to give a somewhat realistic vibe for the first season to compare to how they're doing in real life. But there may be some players we move out if there is good enough interest. It kind of sums it up. When you've got 10 million transfer budget, that's not a lot to work with. I don't like to spend too much money on younger guys, like we touched on with the youth intake, like 16 or 17-year-olds. The target are more towards guys in their early 20s that are going to be their best over the next few seasons. So there's that target of becoming that good team over, for this save is 3 or 4 seasons kind of time period. So that gives you an idea, the players and the age brackets we target, but at the same time, you need good experience, and that's going to come into it. And even tactically, all this stuff, we're going to analyze as we move. But just to go through, get through those messages and see what the board would be requiring of the club. is qualify for Euro. Like, that just says it. That just says it. And this is a pretty safe save, actually. Like, it's Arsenal. Like, you should be able to get like a top 6 position. Like, yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. That's an interesting conversation to have as well. Some bigger clubs might actually be, harder saves with more strict expectations, even though you probably should achieve it regardless. Say with Man City, you should definitely have the ability to, or you have the facilities and the money definitely at your disposal. But yeah, I think we can keep that safe for this season and be able to not be concerned about worrying about the job and getting sacked. And we can take a look on the rebuilding project. So we focused on the poor first team players. How about the guys that are at the team that have got talent? This is what we want to build on. Mikel Arteta. See, I think Arteta, he's like in between. Like, I think he can be the right man for the job, but like, it's a slow process with him. Like, he's making slowly the right moves. And like, he's looking like the right man, but in a very slow process. Because then he'll have moments where, maybe fans, pundits are going to maybe not agree with everything and how the club's progressing. But then when you look over a whole and you say, have they progressed or not? Yeah, I think he's just slowly putting the pieces together. But when you got someone like a Bukayo Saka and a Emil Smith-Rowe, you've got names here. And look, even more, Nelson. He's out on loan, so that's going to be hopefully important that he gets regular game time. Martinelli, even Sambi Lokonga, who is a nice player. That potential gets you excited. We talked about Thomas Partey. I probably see him overtaking him, and does. That would be great if he does do that. And then Tavares, 21 years old. So this is exactly what I would like to do here. Like, Arsenal have it set up nicely, like we've been saying. It's really just going to allow me to focus on the positions that are weaker, and it's really good to have our players that are locked down, and when they're 19, 20, 21. Nelson, I do wonder about these potentials, because 5-star you get excited about, but some of those guys, I'm not sure if they're going to be world-class ability. I signed Smith-Rowe for Everton in that rebuild. He was far from world class. So sometimes the 5-star potential can get you very excited, and it's still differing because it's comparing to your players in the team as well. But anyway, keep that in mind. They're not all the same potentials. They're going to have different levels of growth. I would say, Saka is probably the brightest talent. Martinelli could go. I really like how Martinelli looks, to be fair. He's a good talent. And then if we go to the under 23s, there's a Marcelo Flores in there, a 17-year-old Mexican. Yeah, a little bit to be excited about. But once more, you look at that potential, looks nice. I think, he definitely needs to see a lot of development. Charlie Patino, a little bit of talk on him. He's got solid attributes, in the right areas. And then, is there anyone in the under 18s with really high potential? No, there's a couple guys in there we'll take a look at, but to the levels where they are, I can't see them becoming superstars. But I thought also the rest of the video will just show how the team would be looking. We just set up a kind of a simple enough 4-2-3-1 that I've used already, set up tactically, and we'll see some rotations. But this is where we're just getting a look in. And it's not as, there's changes, it's because players on, holiday mode, and they're not going to all be automatically selected. Click off players that are not at the club, and Tavares, even right here, by default, we're just going to put those, fullbacks, not inverted wing-backs. That was just part of another setup we utilised. And even for this first season, I don't mind two centre-mid partnership there of, Partey and Sambi Lokonga. I think that can be strong defensively as well. It's not just overly playmaking types. And it can allow. We'll see if we use advanced playmaker. We'll see if we use advanced playmaker or attacking mid there. But I think those three will be complemented really well in midfield. And then up top, this is going to be the conversation. I think a signing does need to be made. Nketiah, is he going to be, like, he's not going to be his 3-star. And we talked about him being someone Arsenal fans want to see be the one. But, like, for my rebuilding situation here, I'm not sure about him. I think he has to be in the squad, definitely being homegrown and all that. But I don't see him being the number one man. So a striker signing, I'm just giving you guys the short list, really. A striker is on the short list. The wingers, we've got, Pepe is still solid, 140k a week. He's 26 years old. He's got strong attributes. But then there's some that those weaker ones, like a leadership positioning, some of them may not be as important. He's a class player when he's on form, when he's fit and firing. So, yeah, he's going to be important player. But I almost see, like, I hope we get to a point, or we will try and get a world class, like a really someone that would be a bit more consistent than I've found him to be. Well, at least in real life. See how the save plays out, and then sort that out. Then Saka would be part of the if we're like rotating there, and we play on left side or right side. Yeah, we'll see how we do. But it's more though the fact of who else is there. So winger, a striker, and at least one winger is on the radar. And you need rotations. You got Odegaard. We talked about, Odegaard. I really like Odegaard and Smith Rowe. And have an experience with Smith Rowe. We could use him centrally or out wide. So that brings a bit of, depth into those respective positions. And then I feel Arsenal need a rebuild through their centre-backs. Not sure necessarily if it's going to be in the first season. Like Gabriel, 23 years old. He's still young. He's, like, you could say he's nailed down. But then Ben White, I don't know. He's 23 as well. I think he's a bit below the quality there. I think Gabriel is someone we could build a partnership with someone else if we were looking for a signing. So, yeah, early analysis there. And, of course, we touched on Tavares. Tierney has to be starting. He has to be the main left back. He's 24. So that's another nailed down position where he's one of them that would be, you could see, being in the 11 of a Champions League winning team, Premier League winning team, when this Arsenal team is at their best. So, we're going to leave it there, giving you guys a bit of the introduction. I've given you my thoughts on where we are going to look to make signings to get to that team we just touched on, Premier League winning, Champions League winning. But if there is any positions you think and specific players you think that we need to reinforce, or players that really need to be going and see them out the door, let me know. Subscribe if you're new for regular FM videos. See you guys next time.